you people?
It's us.
They look exactly like us. They think like us. They know where we are. We need to move and keep moving. They won't stop until they kill us. Or we kill them.
Be careful.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm happy to be here with you and doing my first review of the year. I know it feels like it's super late in the year, but it's only the end of March, beginning of April. My birthday's coming up, so I'm super excited that I got to watch this movie right before it. So let's review Us. Needless to say, spoiler alert, because it's been out for about a week and a half now, and if you haven't seen it, I don't understand why. And if you have seen it, let's try to figure this out. So let me start by saying I am trying to make this short and sweet. It's a review of the movie. I'm not here to speak about theories or anything to that nature. I would rather write a nice article about that instead of talking about it, because it's an article I can get more of my words out in a better period of time. So we are going to talk about this, and again, this is a spoiler warning for anybody who has not seen it. Spoiler, 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 spoiler. So of course, if you watch this, you have seen it, and you're just like, what is happening? And I am with you on this one. I don't know what's happening. I've seen it twice, and let me scratch that. I do know what's happening, but I'm not jumping to any conclusions. I love reading about the theories that's happening, except one theory I'm not seeing how people see it, but I'm going to have to go in depth with it a little bit more. And that one's that Jason was switched, and I just need to ask those people, when was he switched? Because it couldn't have been after the burn accident, because the other two people in the family besides Adelaide/Red would have noticed it. I'm just saying. So if you've seen it, and of course you have, everybody's seen it. So if you've seen it, you know that in the end we find out that Adelaide, who we've been going through this whole journey with, was actually the original tethered, and Red was the original Adelaide. And when they were kids, they met up in a house of mirrors, and the tethered choked Adelaide out, drug her downstairs, and left her chained to a bed, handcuffed. See, when you watch it the second time, you realize the handcuffs are significant because you don't notice it at first. Handcuffed or tethered to the bed with her hands across America's shirt. So we fast forward, they're adults now. She's going back to her childhood home, and she's having flashbacks, making us think that, she's still having this she's still dealing with the trauma of getting lost in the house of mirrors and seeing someone that looks just like her. Her husband really doesn't get it when she explains it to him, but he gets it eventually once the family attacks. So let's pull up the things I noticed after seeing it a second time. One, Adelaide's a vegetarian. And when you remember the story that Red told, they talked about having to eat rabbit cold and bloody. So I'm thinking that the vegetarian part of it is to keep the tethered Adelaide Red from eating cold, bloody rabbit. Because as you can see, when people were like at the fair and stuff, and you saw what happened below, everybody was eating these rabbits that have been cloned. What I don't understand about this movie is when the tether broke between them. Is it when they decided to stop using the program? I'm not sure, because according to Red, the tethered was a program to control the people above. So the tethered were supposed to be in control. They were the ones walking, and when they walked, you walked. But in the movie, it switched. Like, for instance, which I can see why people think Jason is switched, is because when he backed up, his tethers backed up. But then is Gabe switched, because when he changed his glasses, Abraham changed his glasses. Or phantom glasses. So it's really, that's the part that confused me. And I guess that's the part that Jordan Peele wants to make you think. Now, for a second film from Jordan Peele, I am so proud of him. I am so happy that he's directing, producing, and writing all these great horror films with black leads as the families, as the love interest, as everything, because we don't see that enough. And of course, you know, everybody's complaining, or some people are complaining, but everybody else is like, this is what we want to see. We want to see him do his movies the way he wants to do them. You don't complain when Quentin Tarantino does the movies the way he wants to do them. And I'm a fan of Quentin Tarantino. So I don't want to hear anything about Jordan Peele doing the exact same thing. I will say I'm happy this came after Get Out. If this came before Get Out, I'm not sure if Get Out would have gotten made. Now, that's to say that don't go into this movie wanting Get Out. That's not going to happen. And comparing it to Get Out doesn't help me, and it won't help you either. But I can appreciate the fact that Get Out had to be by like A, B, C, D and tied up in a nice little bow. Because if Get Out wasn't successful, us wouldn't have been here. So I'm happy this is the second film from him. And I can't wait to see what he has more coming. I'm actually interested in getting CBS All Access just so I can watch Twilight Zone. And this is very Twilight Zone-y. Sometimes Twilight Zone episodes don't have a conclusion or any reasonable explanation. It just makes you think and makes you ask questions. And this is what this is doing. It's making you think. It's making you ask questions. It's trying to figure out what the social impact of it, because Get Out was so social. This could be him just wanting to make a really fun horror suspense movie and seeing what you all thought about it. I have written stuff that people have interpreted completely wrong. And I'm sitting right there like, that's not what I meant at all. I don't know how you got that, but interesting. So it could be also one of his. But that's the fun thing. This is what classes are made for, theories. So I really like that about this movie. The suspense is great. The storyline is great to follow. I love the subtle hints that I noticed seeing it a second time. Like, for instance, when they go to the beach, the above head view, the aerial view, you see the shadows into the sand, which you don't think about at first. But then you realize, oh, it's kind of a hint or foreshadowing. See what I did there? Foreshadowing what's about to happen. And there's all these little things that you notice. But what I noticed the most, and what everybody seems to be noticing, is like, look, Pizza is amazing. She's not a one-trick pony. She is a great actress, a great actor. And I can't wait to see more of her in different things. I already have a lady crush on her. Like, her skin's flawless. I love her hair. I love everything about her. So I cannot wait to keep seeing her in movies, especially when she plays Trevor Noah's mom in his movie adaptation of his book, Born a Crime. And if you haven't read that book, please read a book. It's really good. So she was absolutely amazing. The child actors, and I can't remember their names right now, they were great, especially having to play themselves twice in different ways. They did an absolute great job. Winston Duke, I didn't notice he was that big until he hopped on that full-size bed, and it was just way too small. It looked like a twin compared to his body. So he's actually really big, but that's one of the parts of it. Now, he's supposed to be the corny dad. I get it. They're supposed to be a regular family, and you're going to have a corny dad in there. But Winston Duke as an actor, it fell a little flat for me, but I did enjoy him on screen. He had great funny moments, and I can't wait to see what he does more. Now, of course, everybody loves him as M'Baku, and I can't wait to see him come back as M'Baku for Avengers Endgame Part 2, or, well, Avengers Part 2 Endgame. But this is great for his resume, and I hope he keeps doing more work. Now, what I do appreciate is how he switched the roles here. This black family is the focal point. So they get the story arc, they get the screen time, they get the action, they get to be the heroes, which also is interesting because in the end, you don't know if you want the Tethered to win or you want Adelaide, Red or Adelaide to win. And I'm still juggling that today because I get Adelaide's grown up and she's had her family and she loves her kids and she loves her husband. But she really did a fucked up thing for Red. And it was really hard to root for one or the other, which is really good about this movie. And then what I really liked was that the roles were reversed in the fact that the white family didn't get really that much of a story arc. They had a little bit of comic relief, but that's what they're for, because if it was a regular horror movie, that's what the black character's for. They are a little bit of comic relief and then they get killed off and you get no explanation whatsoever. So for this one, we got to do it that way, and I really enjoyed that. And watching the second time, you realize subtle things like Adelaide reverting back to her original self, where when she killed one of the twin tethered, she started to grunt and growl in the way she used to when she was a kid. Because again, like I said, she was switched when they went into the Hall of Mirrors. So she starts to grunt and growl like she did as a kid. And then when she killed Red, she gagged a little bit as if she lost air too when she was choking her out. And then she started to grunt and growl and laugh it off because she's reverting back to being the tethered that she originally was. And I think that's what Jason saw and realized, okay, my mom is, that's my mom. I don't know what to do about this. I'm kind of scared, but okay, I'm just going to mask on. Because that's what Adelaide did. She put a mask on throughout this movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I did. It was super fun. But here's the thing. From the trailer, I thought I was going to be scared. Like almost like didn't want to go to sleep, worried that my tether was walking around, scared to look in the mirror, scared. But I wasn't. And that's fine. Most horror movies do not scare me. The last scary movie I saw was when I was like in middle school, and it was called, I forgot what it was called, but it was about a tooth fairy. So if you think about it, let me know. And that's the last time I remember being scared. Other than that, I haven't really been scared that much of horror films, and I thought this one was going to be it. I was so ready, and I didn't get it. My friend, she wouldn't go see it unless it was light outside, and I was just like, you really don't need to worry about that at all. But that's my only gripe with it. I wasn't really scared. It was more suspense for me, and again, that's fine, and it makes you think, and that's great, and it's starting conversations that probably weren't even in the mind of Jordan Peele when he wrote this, but that's the whole point. You as a viewer, not as a writer, have to go all the way around to get to the same path as the writer who was taking this straight path down. And because you're not in their head, you have to take different trails in order to make it to his path. And that's what all these theories and discussions are about, and it's great to hear and it's great to see. I will give this movie a 3.75 on the star radar. Because, again, I wasn't scared like I wanted to be. If I was more scared, this would be a lot higher. It's literally low because I'm not as scared. But other than that, the writing's great, the directing's great, the acting was fantastic. You know what? I should bump that up to a 4 just because Lupita was amazing. And I really, really enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see what he comes up with next. And hopefully one day this will be me where everybody cannot wait for my next original movie to come out. But until then, I get to enjoy original works by original people, and I will keep continuing to do that. And I hope y'all go see Us. Go see it more than once because you're going to miss something. And always remember that your mirror is a window to the soul. I'm just kidding. So that might be your tether. So if one day you turn and your flesh and doesn't, I can't help you. So you on your own on that one. But I got some new social media accounts. Please go visit them. Please like, share, and subscribe. And always remember, keep dreaming.
Creep on in, on in, on in.